Hello and welcome to Fin Business. We are in conversation with Girish Kulkarni, who heads Star Union Daiichi Life Insurance Company from India. Sir, welcome on the show.
Thank you, Amol.
2001, when the licenses were given to the insurance companies, there was a hope that the FDI will be there. FDI will be increased to 49%. Fortunately, that happened 2-3 years back. And the immediate idea which the company had was to come with an IPO. Fortunately, even few life insurance companies came with an IPO. The government companies are also coming with an IPO. In this way, when the FDI has already been increased to 49%, when the company is already getting listed into the market, what is the take that you get from the street for the insurance companies?
I see very good 10 years ahead. If you ask me, next decade will be of insurance.
Okay.
And when I say insurance, I do not mean life insurance alone.
Okay.
Life, health, general insurance, everything. I think we have already started seeing that beginning. This year, industry should grow about 25%.
Okay.
Is what my prediction is. By December, it was 20%, and it will go up further as we close March. FDI IPOs going to market is one that is internal, but there are a lot of external enablements that have happened thanks to Prime Minister Modi and the overall economic positive environment that everyone is seeing. I think the biggest benefit is going to financial services, and the household savings are channelized into financial services never before.
Absolutely.
Insurance is already second to fixed deposit. It is almost 22% of the total household savings, which is second to fixed deposits. And that this will go for, insurance ideally should be in the range of 35%. If you ask me, in good old times, we used to have 32-33%. FDI, a brief comment, 49%, I think happened a little late. IPOs and all are concerned. I personally feel that this will result in setting right parameters for assessing the performance of insurers, which is currently slightly hazy.
Okay.
By getting into public domain, you will be exposed to regular surveillance.
Right.
And regular surveillance will demand change in behavior.
Right.
I expect all that to happen.
Okay.
And this on one side, a great positive economic situation on other side, I see a really good decade ahead.
Keeping all these things in mind, the good things, FDI, IPO, transparency, and the way the industry is evolving now, where do you actually see the growth coming from, specifically for the life insurance industry now? Because it looks like metros are full. It looks like the same pie will not be available for all the players going ahead. So from where the growth will come?
I expect a lot of growth will come from middle and bottom of the pyramid, semi-urban, semi-rural and rural areas. See, as your 4G comes to India, I expect a huge revolution in India because the man in village is literate enough. He may not be educated, but he is wise. If we feed him correctly with right information, you will see a huge inflows from these areas, and that I expect in next few years to happen. Particularly, if you ask me, in our case, my 70% business comes from these areas.
Absolutely.
And I expect this 70% base to expand further. And you will see that in the case of SBI, in the case of LIC, who have presence in these areas, they will be suitably rewarded, is what I feel.
So on this particular topic, the immediate question that comes to my mind is, when you are going to address this, bottom of the pyramid people, what is your strategy? At Star Union Daiichi Life Insurance, how are you going to target these people? Yes, your 70% business comes from that particular area. And when you say you want to expand it, what are the weapons that you are going to carry, to target them?
First and foremost, awareness.
Yes.
So, industry level thing is happening, but we also, at our individual company level, we keep doing few things. I would like to enhance this investment further because between the two banks, I have almost 10 crores of customers.
Okay.
And probably my my reach, my penetration has to deepen here first, and that's our strategy for next 2 to 3 years. How can we increase our penetration from current level? Can we double it in 18 months? Can we treble it in 3 years? Is the question now, and all our energy is actually channelized towards this.
Now, how digital is going to help you to channelize this energy? And when I say digital, in a way, digital is a very blanket statement. What are the products? What kind of technology under the blanket of digital you are going to adopt? Is it going to be artificial intelligence? Is it going to be blockchain? Or is it going to be something else like big data or just online? That's it.
I would say it will be a mix of physical and digital.
Okay.
Because see, in India, complete digital will take some time, particularly for a complex product and concept like life insurance. If you have to evolve your distribution to meet the requirements of the future, you have to work on your operations and other customer, because your product concept is going to get converted into services in coming years. Now, are you doing that? And there, more than sales, your operations, your claims managers, your risk managers have a bigger role. If they do it right, then your sales will get enabled. So we are trying to work on this. How do I really simplify all these things? We had this target of becoming a 1 billion company in terms of corporate valuation by 2020. Probably will hit it. Will hit that mark this March itself. We are running this company with only 400 crores of capital. So that's one of the smallest capital being used to run life insurance companies. The another milestone that we have kept for ourselves is to become a 5 billion company by 2025. To achieve that, I will have to first change my entire ecosystem with the customer. So converting my product into service, and that service completely aligned to my customer expectation, is something which we are working on.
So it's a very ambitious plan, to be a $1 billion company by 2020 and the $5 billion company by 2025. Wish you the best for that. But then I would like to learn from you. What is the strategy?
The strategy was very clear. We wanted to get a product mix right, so we reduced our focus from ULIPs and started selling traditional products, so that we remain focused on building fundamentals rather than building a transactional portfolio. Currently, almost 80-85% of my annual production is traditional. So we sell regular traditional products. Naturally, these products give you long-term association with the customer, give you good margins, give you stability with the customer, because then customer doesn't exit. If you communicate well, he even multiplies his investments, and that is what we are seeing. So a strategy is very simple. We believe in simplicity as a company. So product mix, keep your expenses under control. Because that is something which will always impact your profitability terribly. So far we have been successful in managing our expenses. In insurance, there are only, as Chairman IIDA keeps saying, there are only three things. One is mortality, one is savings portion, and one is your expenses. If you get these three things right, so by mortality, your risk selection has to be good. Savings portion is mainly the investment and market returns, etc., etc. That in a economy like India will not be a problem. Your long-term bonds are still giving you 7%, 7.5%. So I see no problem with that. And expenses is something which you have to manage as a management team. All this coupled with persistency of customers.
Absolutely.
I mean, your customer should stay with you longer. If he stays with you longer, he will give you more profits. He will give you more business. Simple.
So when you actually make a plan, or when you have this ambitious plan to make a $5 billion company by 2025, is the Bank of India and Union Bank, which are currently your bank assurance and a partner, is what you can say, enough to achieve that level of growth, or will you also expand in agency model, digital distribution model, like you sometime back said about digital model, invest then in those models as well?
Yes, my two distributor banks, Bank of India and Union Bank, are capable of creating a 5 billion story. So
no doubt about that.
Yes, no doubt about that. If I have to look at some inorganic options, which includes getting some more bank for distribution or any other platform for distribution, then this 5 billion dream has to be bigger. Okay, but this 5 billion is solely based on my current capabilities. Within our current capabilities, we are trying to create a direct sales kind of agency model, which will see. We are aware of the problems faced by agency channel currently. The trick lies in making your agent or the salesman financially viable.
Right.
So we want to go slow, but we want to go strong on this.
Right.
Daiichi has a very strong model on this. They employ around 60,000 women as their sales coordinators, and they've been doing it for last 100 years. The whole focus is marinating them rather than asking them to get premium from second month itself. We are going to train them properly, we are going to coach them properly, enable them properly, and then once they are capable of producing enough, so that channel is being executed in a small way. Currently, it amounts to around 4 or 5% of our total income, but we want it to go up to 10 to 15% in next 3 years.
Okay, that is the growth that you
That's the
envisage.
growth we are expecting.
So, since you gave an example of Daiichi and you travel all over the world and look at the global insurance market as well, what is the major difference that you see in India and global insurance market?
See, the major difference is size of our market. It's not a country, it's a continent.
Right.
And when you are a CEO of India, actually you are a CEO of 25 markets.
Absolutely.
And not one market.
Yes.
And that is where the maximum challenge is. That coupled with awareness is a second biggest challenge. But let me tell you, awareness exists even in developed markets.
Right.
Lack of awareness exists in even developed markets. So they also have to battle with it. The only thing is the channels of communication and level of understanding gets developed very quickly there vis-a-vis ours. So that's the major difference. And because of our size, Amol, it requires more money, it requires more time, and it requires far more patience to develop a successful model. Many times, all the stakeholders like promoters, management teams, everyone needs to understand this.
And how has been Daiichi, investing into this market? I mean, it's one of your partner, in fact, a major partner we can say now.
Right.
They have increased the stake also after FDI, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
And so how? I mean, are they like looking at India as one of the, one of the interesting spot now?
Daiichi is hugely interested in India, and I have been with them for last 6 years now, and I can say this with a lot of confidence. And that's the reason. At first opportunity, they increased their stake. Second thing, they are also huge believers in India story. They have recently made certain strategic investments, even on the mutual fund side with Union Bank of India. That shows their continued interest in India.
And since you're talking about expansion plans, when you want to make a company of that big size, what kind of expansion strategy that you look into? Increasing employee force, increasing, expanding into different parts of the country?
I'll give you a very short answer through this. Rather than expanding all this, because we have enough of employees, enough of footprint, enough of everything, I would like to expand our efficiencies now.
Now that many companies are, evaluating themselves whether they can hit the market, are you by any chance on that page?
No, because we don't see any need. We are we have sufficient capital with us, which can support our growth. Our internal cash generation is more than sufficient, which is helping us running the company very smoothly. Our solvency margins are very, very good, at very, very comfortable level. And third, we strongly believe that 1 billion is not a size to go to the market. You should have certain size when you decide to go to the market.
Wonderful talking to you, Girish.
Thanks,
you so
Amol.
much for
Always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
So that was Girish Kulkarni from Star Union Daiichi Life Insurance, who spoke a lot about life insurance industry and Star Union Daiichi's expansion plans. Thank you so much for watching Fin Business.